Audio. Sorry. Hit the mute button. Oops. Thank you for the heads up on that. Oops. Well, okay. Hopefully there's not too many people who see that. Oddly enough. Anyway, where were we going? This is apparently what President Biden said. I'm praying the verdict is the right verdict. The evidence is overwhelming in my view about the Derek Chauvin trial. There's been nothing President Trump ever said on Twitter was more irresponsible than this. This is the President of the United States weighing in on a jury trial before that jury trial is concluded. And it's not just any jury trial, it's a murder trial. And he's saying that the guy needs to be convicted, that's the right outcome based on his view. Was he watching the entire trial? It's been 3 weeks. Did he watch all the evidence? Does he have access to it? So no one cares what his view is in the sense of the abstract sense of what's actually the basis of justice. Moreover, suggesting that there is a correct verdict in advance. What happens if the verdict comes back the wrong way in Joe Biden's view? Now, the President of the United States has said that that this man should have been convicted of murder. Incredibly, incredibly disrespectful. So I think, for all remember when President Trump got impeached for saying to protest peacefully? There's no way it is ever acceptable for an elected official to be actively involving himself in a case. And so this is the only argument is they're sequestered, so it's okay for this is justified, but they're sequestered, so it's okay to for a president to intervene in this way. It's not, right? One, it affects the behavior of everybody else who's around the trial. The thing that a president should be doing is actually asking people to respect the jury process and respect the judicial branch. The fact is, this is it's not clear the jury heard Maxine Waters either, right? And still the judge rightly called her comments abhorrent. That's it's a remarkable thing. It's funny, reading through some of these tweets, you just see people who don't understand basic, how our world works. We are all POTUS today. There's a right verdict. Have you watched the entire trial? Maybe you should want justice to be done. This is actually right. Somebody who said, Trump said a lot. And there was plenty of times where I think Trump said really irresponsible things. He never said anything as irresponsible as this. The idea that it's just okay because the jury is sequestered, that's just not true. It's just not true. This is absolutely gross. Again, it's not okay even if sequestered. There's no circumstance under which the President of the United States should be weighing in against a criminal defendant while the jury is deliberating or before the jury is deliberating. Do not weigh in against criminal defendants while they're having a trial. That's the way our system works. It's just absolutely appalling. Trump said this, he would have been impeached on the spot. Right. If Trump said this, he would have been impeached. I'm actually going to tweet that out. If against a criminal defendant while the jury was deliberating, he would have been impeached before the day was out. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Not to mention, Psaki has been saying the administration was going to continue not to take a position. Psaki actually knows what the government's supposed to do, but apparently we have a president who isn't even aware of it. I'm sorry, maybe we shouldn't be electing 78-year-olds to be president of the United States. They forget very basic things don't weigh in on criminal trials. Let the justice system work. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. It's the basics of our criminal system is that the executive branch, he's not even involved in prosecution. It's not like he's running the federal government. All that talk about the independence of the Department of Justice and no political meddling in prosecutions. This is political meddling. Stay out of it. It's a state court case with a jury that's impaneled, that a fair trial is being conducted. Let them come to their result. If the jury comes to the conclusion that a not guilty verdict is justified, Joe Biden should respect that. She shouldn't be saying in advance that it's a wrong verdict. It's so immoral. It's totally, totally unethical. Totally unethical. So, yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. There's not a right answer in a criminal trial. by this logic, any rioting is now the fault of Joe Biden. Like Joe Biden said that, in advance. Assume, for example, that the jury comes back with an acquittal, which they very well could. That's a very live possibility. I still think it's actually the most likely outcome, frankly. I think that acquittal is most likely. Say they come out with an acquittal. Well, now the president of the United States has said the jury got it wrong already in advance, right? Like while riots are ongoing, like while riots happen in the past in this very same place. Like those are on him now. Like the riots are on Joe Biden. Yeah, as I said, he's tacitly encouraging future riots. Instead of telling people to respect the judicial process, all this talk about the importance of what the presidents say. I remember Joe Biden saying so much about it's important what presidents say. That's why we have to get rid of Trump, because presidents need to be careful with their words. And he's mouthing off about a criminal trial while the jury is deliberating. Just ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely. Biden's comments could be used as cause for appeal. Joe Biden, the president of the United States, weighed in against the defendant in a criminal trial. How the hell is the trial supposed to be fair at that point? Yeah, man, one juror sees that the president of the United States has said that the defendant is guilty. Oh, man. Wow. Absolutely appalling. It's weird that people aren't even talking about this right now. To me, this is today's news. The president of the United States weighed in on a criminal trial while it was ongoing. A murder trial. If I had a son, it would look like Chauvin. That was bad. And at that point, Obama's not even saying the guy's guilty, right? Obama didn't say, imagine if Obama had said, the correct verdict here is a guilty verdict for George Zimmerman. He never said that. He just tried to empathize with the victims. That in and of itself is probably still inappropriate. This is levels beyond what Obama did during the Zimmerman trial. This is, it's just really, really bad. So this isn't going to be a long one. I literally just wanted to go online and be like, this guy should be impeached. You should be impeached. And every Republican should be there should be outrage across the spectrum for that this guy is getting in the middle of this trial. I wonder if there's Republicans with the balls, or if the Republicans are going to sit and be like, well, I guess George Floyd, I guess Derek Chauvin has it coming. He's a defendant. He has rights, due process. He's entitled to a fair trial. And as why can't they just say it's abhorrent? Anyway, all right, that's for night today. I'll be back later, but Joe Biden should be impeached over this. This is appalling. The standard of impeachment dropped so radically low during the Trump presidency that if this isn't grounds for impeachment, I don't know, clear, obvious double standard.